It was love at first class.
She has empowered hundreds, if not thousands, of trainers throughout the years. Literally a trailblazer in the fitness industry. Rania, welcome to the JNP podcast.
We came to the UAE about 28 years ago. There were no commercial clubs. We started the very first club in the UAE. It went so good. We got such great feedback.
You always say we are in the business of changing people's lives.
Now the state of health is the worst it's ever been in the history of humanity. Physical activity and proper nutrition can prevent so many issues.
Do you think the fitness industry overall in the UAE is getting to a much better place?
Dramatically, much better. It was a disaster before. We need a lot more mentoring and a lot more hands-on work, which is missing.
How important is hands-on work?
Knowledge is not power. The application of knowledge is power. There's a huge piece of the puzzle here that a lot of fitness professionals don't understand. Training the human being, not just the human body. If you don't understand the client from the neck up, how are you gonna help them with their body from the neck down?
Like you guys have actually an athletic family, which is rarely the case in most families. So what do you think lacks usually?
People put barriers for themselves. They say, I don't have time, but then, they have enough time to scroll on social media. It is your duty. It's your responsibility to take care of your own health. You do it for your kids.
This podcast episode features one of the top women leaders and fitness educators in the UAE. She is the co-founder of MEFITPRO, the pioneers of fitness in the Middle East, and educational hub that has helped shape the standards of fitness. With a medical background and extensive teaching experience, she has empowered hundreds, if not thousands, of trainers throughout the years. Literally a trailblazer in the fitness industry. I'm happy to host Rania Boucher. We will be discussing Rania's personal medical background and how she started MEFITPRO, education and trainers development, the business evolution of fitness, one of the biggest fitness summits in the region, the MEFIT Summit, and some industry insight and controversies. Rania, welcome to the JNP podcast. It's a pleasure to have you here, and I've been actually looking forward to this conversation.
Thank you so much for having me, and I'm very excited about our chat today. Thank you.
You're actually the first female that I'm hosting, so
amazing.
It's an honor for me.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me. Thank you.
So I've known you for, I'm going to say quite a while now. We haven't sat and spoke about different subjects, but I actually took one of your courses. I attended, and I loved how you lecture, how passionate you are about fitness in general. I know a bit that you have a medical background. So take me a bit through your full fitness journey from the start and how you ended up being where you're at now.
Yeah, well, my fitness journey started quite early. I was only 16, and I was actually quite lucky. I'm very lucky. I'm very grateful that I was able to find my purpose so early. Like so many people, sometimes takes them a lifetime. They take years, decades to figure out what really lights them up, what sets their soul on fire. So for me, it wasn't the case. It was love at first class. It was actually a class, a group fitness class. Back in the days, we used to call it aerobics class, like the Jane Fonda style class. And I remember I walked into the room. It was just the entire experience, like the moves, the music, the beat, the transitions. The instructor was amazing. I just fell in love with it. And I just thought something clicked inside me. Now, obviously, through my childhood, movement was a part of what we did all our life as kids. We played in the forest and climbed trees and played sport just to entertain ourselves. We didn't have the technology the kids have these days. So for me, movement was always part of my life. But experiencing that class introduced the fitness industry to me in a very positive way. So I became kind of obsessed, really, in a good way.
Yeah, of course.
So I was in every class in the front row, memorizing all the moves, knowing all the beats. And then one day, the instructor fell sick. She got sick and she needed a cover. And back in the days, you don't have a bunch of group fitness instructors ready to cover. So she had to look for this obsessed person in front who knew everything.
Okay.
So she sent me her, the cassette tape you used to use a pen to rewind back in the days. So she sent me the cassettes and asked me to cover. And it was my very first experience teaching.
How old were you when you taught?
I was not even 16 yet.
Wow.
I was very young. I'll tell you, I was obsessed. And I taught that class, and it was magical. It was amazing. I was also lucky because the bunch of people that were in the class were very supportive. So I got the right energy back.
Yeah, it's not easy, of course.
It's very kind of daunting being young at this age. So I don't know if they were supportive, didn't want to be mean, but it was an amazing experience. And then when I turned 16, the owner of the club, it wasn't even a big club. It was like just another small place, in the neighborhood. So he decided to give me a regular class on the timetable.
Okay.
So the official first class I taught was when I was 16. And that stayed with me all the way through university. I studied as a medical lab technologist, and then studied further as a specialized in microbiology. And as I worked in healthcare, I kept teaching classes, and I transitioned into the gym, started lifting weights, really enjoyed it. So got into personal training. So fitness was a side gig for me on the side. But I was so obsessed and so in love with it that I always used to go to the lab and sit and my eye on the watch waiting for the clock to tick so I can go to the club and do what I absolutely love. And then one day I just decided I want to do fitness. This is what I'm meant to do. This is meant to be for me. And that happened quite early. So I decided to take it a little bit more seriously. I educated myself. I've done every single personal training course under the sun, purely because I had to teach most of them. But at the beginning, I did my New Zealand network course in New Zealand. Then I did the group fitness instructor course and did the Taibo back in the days, Taibo course, in all these like variations. And learning doesn't stop, doesn't end. I've been learning ever since. I still study until now. I'm still studying. Yeah, that's how it all started.
Wow. Do you think the medical background helped you? In terms of developing yourself, in terms of applying the science into
100%. It gave me a really strong foundation, and I felt I kind of was slightly ahead because of that, that background. Part of this, some of the subject that I studied, for example, I studied chemistry, biochemistry, bioenergetics, took nutrition as one of the subjects. They really, really helped me in supporting my clients. Knowing about anatomy and physiology. But I believe what medical training gave me is humility.
Okay.
It's something a lot of fitness professionals sometimes lack. It gave me deep respect to how complex is the human body.
Agreed.
And how amazing it is. Like, no matter how amazing you are, you try your best practice, the body does whatever it needs to do. The body's boss. And also it taught me in a way that we have to respect our scope of work. As personal trainers, we don't diagnose, we don't treat. However, we can really impact someone's health in so many meaningful ways. That's why we need to do what we're really good at, and we must refer when we have to refer.
You see the passion when you talk even about the subject.
I absolutely love it.
Yeah, like even I'm telling you, when I attended your the personal training course with you, I can feel that passion. Like most of the stuff I already knew, but I'm like, okay, I need to sit down, I need to take note, because the passion you have is absolutely out of this world, especially until now. Like you've been in the industry for like
over 30 years, 34 to be exact.
Yeah, and still like the hunger is there, the passion to teach is there. So now speaking about teaching, we have MEFITPRO. Tell me a bit how MEFITPRO started and what's the goal behind MEFITPRO.
MEFITPRO started because of two reasons. First, obviously out of love, obsession, not love, and the necessity, the need. Greg, who's my partner in crime and my husband and partner in life, we came to the UAE about 28 years ago. And when we first arrived, I came first before him. And when I first arrived, went looking for the gym, because in New Zealand, you have like health clubs, you have standalone gyms. I went looking for a club to train or even do a class. There were no commercial clubs, no standalone fitness clubs. There are gyms and buildings and small facilities and hotels to get the 5-star rating, but no commercial clubs, and the fitness industry almost didn't exist. It's in its infancy, like very small. So I called Greg and I said, you need to get here.
Yeah.
The fitness industry needs us. We can do amazing things here. Greg was playing professional basketball back then, running his business and managing like 3 big swim and gym clubs. And he came, visited, and whilst he was here, was invited to speak at a conference where he spoke about osteoporosis. And he got approached by 2 local guys, 2 brothers, who wanted to start the very first commercial gym in the UAE. So Greg took on the challenge, left everything, came over here, and we started the very first club in the UAE. And it was so successful, the return on investment was within the first 9 months, which was insane.
Of course.
And
especially the market was so fresh, you have no one here.
And it was huge need. It was very bodybuilding dominant back then. So we brought the very first personal training system. It was called PTS, Personal Training System. We brought group fitness into the region. We brought the very first education course. Greg used to teach it. It was the ACE course, American Council on Exercise, when we first started. And slowly, bit by bit, we got other clubs approaching us. Hey, we like the system. Can you share with us? Asking for advice. And then we thought we should start something to help everybody, not just one club. And then that's how we started MEFITPRO. We officially launched MEFITPRO in 2003. And we started small, but slowly but surely we scaled the business. We brought more offerings. We always thought, like Greg's dad always says, he used to always tell us, think globally, act locally. So we always travel around the world, see what's the latest, what's new, brought new ideas, new equipment, new modalities, new training, and shared it with the region. So we worked very hard. It hasn't been very easy.
To stay in this industry for 20 plus years is something big.
It's not easy. We had to trailblaze. That's why we're the pioneer in fitness. Greg's called the godfather of fitness for a reason. And and we're still going and we're loving it every single day.
Well, I told you off air a bit, like, I love how you guys continuously look for new things to educate and help coaches grow, because this industry actually needs it in our region. So given that you've been teaching for this long, like, what still drives you personally to keep on educating? Because it's not an easy task.
Yes.
Spending full weekends.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
You're right, Johnny. Teaching is hard. Teaching fitness is even harder. And I just absolutely love it. And, sometimes I walk into a course when students first arrive and we do the meet and greet, and I look at their faces. Some of them are nervous, some of them are scared, and some of them are unsure. And then at the end of the course, they all leave on a high. They're so confident, well-informed, and passionate and proud of themselves. This, never gets old. But, for me also, I've done my fair share of classes, group fitness classes. I still teach till now because I like to use my time to touch as many lives as possible at once.
We see the crazy stories popping up.
Yes. What's crazy is what people see on Instagram is not actually just what I do. They see the entertainment side of things. Someone in the class, they film it and they post. But what I've done as well, besides group fitness, a lot of personal training. And I always felt my time is given to one person only. I'm touching one life only at one time. I wanted to really scale it a little bit. And I felt education is the best way to do it. I can't, humans are not scalable, but the best way to do that is to educate others to do the same thing. So for me, education was the way to create that ripple effect. I always believed if I train someone really well and they've gone out there and they trained their clients with integrity and really impacted their life in many ways, those clients and their neighbors and their families, all these people somehow are impacted because of my work. And that's what drives me. I absolutely love that.
I remember whenever you start any course, you always say we are in the business of changing people's lives.
Yeah.
And it's a saying that stuck with me. And I personally use it whenever I'm starting to teach the PS because we actually are. Like, people can train with us for years and years, and you literally change their lives to the better. So
Totally.
yeah.
We can change their life. We can impact their their health. We can make a difference. And the sad thing that we are not fully utilized. We are not using our highest potential as fitness professionals. It will be a dream when exercise becomes a prescription.
Yeah.
But now people go see the doctor because they become patients. We want to see the person before they become a patient.
I agree.
And that's very important.
And people sometimes understand that late. Like, until the problem is there, they wouldn't treat it. Once the problem is there, they would then, okay, I need to start training. I need to start having a healthier life.
Yeah, exactly. But usually because exercise as well, it's not fun for people.
No.
We're obsessed because we love it. But for the general population, is a chore. And it's the gym is a place where you go do your chores, and sometimes you get humiliated and you feel crap about yourself for not looking amazing, and you feel the pressure to wear the best clothes to fit in, and it's not always the right environment. And worse than that, you get the personal trainer who's not well educated to give you the right training to encourage you to come back. So that's another issue.
Now, talking about that, you've taught a lot of trainers. I think in the thousands. It's been like 20 plus years. So every time you see new faces, every time you see new people who want to get into the fitness industry, what do you think is a common mistake that trainers go through nowadays? Like, because
the beginning,
because you think now everyone thinks that becoming a personal trainer is easy. I don't have anything to do. I want to become a personal trainer. It's not like it's not like that.
Yeah, it's not, but it is in a way.
Yeah.
If you look at the history of education in the fitness industry, we had no education.
No.
Until like the 70s, 80s, when gurus, it was very bodybuilding dominated industry and male dominated industry. And then gurus like Jane Fonda and the likes of her came in and introduced group fitness, and the fitness industry started to boom, and there were a lot of people doing classes and getting injured. And, the lawsuit was on the rise, people suing each other. And then I realized, crap, we need to do something about this. We need to have a certification. We need to certify people and educate them. And then the fitness industry itself came up, some organizations came up with a quick course that will fix the issue, but doesn't take too long.
Yeah.
Because back then you had to be an exercise scientist or a physiotherapist or studied something that includes anatomy, physiology, kinesiology. And who wants to wait for 4 years to hire a trainer? So for a quick fix, they found a course, they created a course that will cover the basic science and just enough knowledge to pass as a safe instructor or a personal trainer, and with few practical skills. And this continued for a very, very long time. And if you think about it, the fitness industry is not regulated, heavily unregulated worldwide. There are some places at a better level. But when it comes to the new personal trainer, they finish that certification and they think now they're experts.
Sure.
I've got the certificate now. I'm an expert. Fitness is a lifelong profession. You have to keep learning. You have to keep educating yourself. And you know what they lack, usually those new trainers? They lack this whole real life preparation. They don't see the client as a human being. They just they see the client as just a body and a bunch of sets and reps and few resistance training systems. And something, big mistakes they make, not just the new ones, even seasoned trainers, experienced ones, they start to become complacent and lazy and they skip steps. Like you see personal trainers taking on clients, training them from the first session straight to the gym, no assessment. You're not assessing, you're guessing. It's like the blind leading the blind. And this is how, training leads to injuries, and then it starts ruining the reputation of the fitness industry in general. So skipping steps is one of the problems as well. People like just skip things. They don't prepare. You see this personal trainer standing there with no programs in their hands. How can you memorize? You've got 20 clients you train. How can you remember 20 programs
Or come
in
up
your
with
head?
or come up with a program like on the spot.
On the
What do you
spot.
feel like doing then?
Yeah, like today's Monday, the Monday workout for all my clients today. Today's chest day and bicep day. Like, you know, it's a lot of bro science and things they make up on the spot. So they need to make sure that they stay humble. That's important.
Given that you've been here for a long time and you've been teaching for 20 plus years, do you think the fitness industry overall in the UAE is getting to a much better place? And what are the things that are still missing?
Oh, dramatically, much better.
Mm.
Like I'm telling you, it was a disaster before. You know, before, it's still like this till now as well. Before, you know, you look good, you're a trainer. You know,
Unfortunately.
I was approached like, oh, you know, I want to look just like you. Would you train me? It doesn't work like that. Now we have education. We started the very first like personal trainer course, and then along the way, three other education providers joined as well. Unfortunately, they no longer exist. They didn't last. But now we have way more. There's way too many. It needs to be controlled a little bit, the quality and the standards. But it's already much better. We also have a authority regulation body here. We've got Reps UAE, at least more in Dubai and a bit of Abu Dhabi. Other Emirates, they need to be regulated a little bit more. Even in the GCC region, there's no regulation. Saudi are leading the way now. Part of the Mission 2030, they, now the Ministry of Sport themselves, they are in charge. Yep. Of the fitness industry. So they license clubs and take care of the standards. So for us, definitely education is better. We need a lot more mentoring, a lot more hands-on work, which is missing.
So speaking about hands-on work, this is something that usually is missing in most certifications, because some people, I just did this certification online, and they go straight to start to train clients. Yeah. How important is hands-on work? You guys do it at MEFITPRO in basically all the certifications. So how important is that? And how important is it to have a good instructor who actually knows how to coach and how to give those small cues, basically to teach coaches how to coach?
Very important. Well, there are many online certifications. I mean, like in the US and Canada, you can, and other countries as well, you can stay at home and do a full PT certification and become a personal trainer. And you tell, I have the knowledge, and knowledge is power. And I always say knowledge is not power. The application of knowledge is power. And how do you know how to apply the knowledge if you don't attend a workshop face-to-face where you are mentored by someone who's got enough experience to teach you how to do it? What's the point of having knowledge if you don't know how to apply it? So having the face-to-face element is really, really important. And then also being assessed against certain standards. Like you need to show competency first. It's not about how much you know. You need to show that you're competent when you apply it. That's very important. And having a really good coach is very important. It's everything, because otherwise, why don't we just do whatever we want and, get injured and not get results and get frustrated? But having a good coach is not about just applying knowledge. There's a huge piece of the puzzle here that a lot of fitness professionals don't understand. And I'd mentioned it before, training the human being, not just the human body. We need to understand that with personal training, there's a lot of messy client reality. There's the whole unrealistic reality of clients. You're going to train a client who's a CEO that's got a stressful job, maybe a parent that's got so many worries, someone's going through divorce, maybe a client that's just had a fight with the boss and they're coming to your session. They feel so defeated, they feel crushed, and they come to the session with you, and all you're worried about is to smash them, and you've got this amazingly programmed program, and all they need is just to feel that they're winning that day. So you need to have the ability to adapt the program based on what you see in front of you. And when I say what you see in front of you, what's going on in your client's head, if you don't understand the client from the neck up, how are you going to help them with their body from the neck down? It's understanding the mentality of the client, what drives them, what stops them, what really affects their behaviors. Behaviors are everything. And that's why for us on our course, we cover behavioral coaching and behavior change so much. We dive deep into this. We teach our students how to really understand the client from the neck up first.
The fact that you guys collaborate with some of the top, if you want, fitness providers in, let's say, the US, like NASM, this shows that MEFITPRO is one of the pioneer in the region. How important it is for your brand to be able to partner with such brands, and how important it is to having such a tool that you can provide to trainers over here.
Yeah.
Like, I've taken lots of courses, a lot. NASM PT is one of the best courses a young trainer should be taking to at least start off his career with a proper structure, a proper system. So whenever they have a client, they actually have the full blueprint to be able to coach.
Yeah. For us, we've helped many international brands enter the market. Some of them have struggled to crack the market, including NASM. And we brought them into the region and made them successful. Brands choose us because they know our integrity, they know our standards and the quality of our service. And although we do other things other than education, education is at the heart of everything we do. And we do it well. We're known for our reputation. We work with many brands. We are also an Active IQ center. We offer the NASM certification as well, but we offer other certifications. However, all these brands, they follow a slightly different system. Our education is very respected because of these brands and their content, but also because of the additional content and the hands-on, face-to-face element that we offer.
Yep.
What makes our certification what it is the experience we offer our students and the additional things that are missing in the fitness education, and basically the additional things that we feel a personal trainer needs to know to be able to conduct a job and practice things ethically and properly.
Now, speaking about educating, you guys pick and choose your educators. Luckily, I'm happy to
You're
be
one of them.
I'm one
Yes.
of them teaching the performance enhancement specialist course. I actually got approached previously by another company. I rejected, but the way I saw you guys working, it actually motivated me to be able to work with you, because I can clearly see how you guys envision things. So how is that process usually? Because at the end of the day, like you mentioned, you are affecting people that will affect other people. So how important is that process?
Oh, Johnny, I'm glad you asked. That's something I'm very passionate about. I still teach courses because I love it. But my main thing is mentoring educators, and we call them master trainers and teachers. And it's a huge responsibility. When we select educators, we look for quite a few things. First, we look for passion. It's not everything, but it's very important. You can teach skill, but you can't teach someone to care. And we do genuinely care about the fitness industry, the standards, the reputation of our students. We want our students to come into our institute and have the best learning experience. And it's all in the hands of who's running the course. You could have the best course, the best content from the best company, but if the teacher is not the right mentor, it's not going to be a good education. So passion is very important. Second, a role model. We look for true role model. And when I say role model, not just with your knowledge and how you practice your craft, it's also the way you look, the way you move, the way you speak, the way you live. You need to be basically a living example of the philosophies that you teach. I always say to my trainers that I mentor, sounds funny, but it's true. I tell them, if you cannot teach your students wearing your underwear so they can see the results of your systems and your philosophies that you teach, then you have to keep practicing and do more work so you have something legit to offer. Yeah. Otherwise, you should not be standing in front of these people telling them what to do when you actually don't look the part and you're not walking the talk. people don't judge you just by how you look, but also they judge with how you lead. So you have to lead by example. That's something very important. And of course, knowledge is very important. You can't just pretend you know it all. And we carefully select people who always learn, that are continuously studying. Because if you think you know it all, you're just coming with your ego. We get approached actually a lot. A lot of people see like on social media what we do, and they see that we have like big groups and big crowd, and they think they could become superstars. They're doing it for the wrong reasons. And sometimes we offer, not sometimes, we always have a mentorship period where our tutors have to go through that period. And sometimes they don't make it. And one of the main reasons is the ego. They realize it's actually a lot of hard work. And it's not about them. It's about the people in front of them, the students. And they feel like, oh, I don't think I can do this. And actually, they quit before we even tell them, thank you, see you later. So it's very important. And of course, being professional is important. Being professional, not just, the way you look and the way you dress, but also how you treat people with dignity, with respect. It's very important. Always having plan B is part of being a professional. If you know your stuff, you will know how to come up with plan B, because not always things will go according to plan.
For sure.
And one very good quality, being a good coach. Being a good coach is not easy. So many people call themselves coaches, but they lack so many skills. And the most important thing is communication. No matter how much you know, if you don't know how to explain it, what's the point? You're not going to be a good educator. Like you could be 10 out of 10 in your knowledge and you're 5 out of 10 in your communication. You are rated 5 because this knowledge is stuck in your head. You don't know how to explain it. And there's something we teach our tutors. We have a system, we have tools that I've put together. I teach, and I've written a course, an educator, master trainer course. We teach them how to make the complex simple. And that's a superpower.
This is what I loved about you, because a lot of the things can seem quite complex, but when you simplify it to the people in front of you and you go, I'm not going to say go down to that level, but you explain it to a level that they can actually understand,
Simple.
it's going to get stuck.
Yeah, simple without diluting it,
Yep.
without losing its essence. And that's a very hard skill, but it could be practiced. And it's very important. And to simplify things have to be clear in your head. If you're standing there, you don't know what you're teaching, you don't know what you're saying, it's not going to come out clear out of your head, out of your mouth.
I definitely agree. Now, speaking about educators, you guys have one of the biggest fitness summits in the region, if not the biggest, where you get coaches from all over the world. You have 3 days of constant education, 6-8 rooms. Trainers can attend like a million courses. Like, talk to me a bit about the MEFIT Summit and how you guys came up with it, and basically like the whole thing.
The MEFIT Summit, gosh, it was started in 2003.
It's been that long?
That long.
I had no idea.
Every single year. The only year we didn't run it was when we had COVID. And we still ran it just for business, not for the trainers. It started because we always wanted to, we felt there's no platform to connect fitness professionals where they can connect, learn, grow, discuss ideas. It was lacking. And Greg and I always had to travel. We had to go abroad, IDEA, Asia Fit, attend different fitness conventions. And, not many fitness professionals are able to do this. And I always used to say to Greg, it would be a dream to be able to run a fitness conference here where trainers don't have to pay so much money and travel and go through the hassle just so they can receive what they deserve, knowledge and connection, and feel proud of the industry they belong to. And then Greg, being Greg, that's always Greg, like, why not? Let's do it. And it started small. It started very small. The very first conference was at the Movenpick Hotel, I remember, in Dubai, opposite American Hospital. And it went so good. We got such a great feedback. People left buzzing on a high, and we thought, this is it. We've got to do this every single year. And we've been doing this every single year. We bring the best in the industry. We bring top speakers, top educators. It is the largest, and actually it's the only educational conference summit in the region. There are many shows where you
Yeah, of
go
course.
watch people, posing and get freebies and free samples and exhibition and all that. They are big, massive, which is great.
But it's not
For us,
education.
it's educational. We're the largest and the only educational summit.
We've said like the summit is basically like usually a 3 day summit where the first day is more like business,
Yeah.
medical, and after that it's more like fitness related. How important it is to have a good team for the entire work to prepare for the summit, because
Yeah.
I've seen the summits like the past 3 years actually. It's crazy.
It's large.
It's
insane.
not easy to do. Yeah.
Not many people believe it, but we do everything in-house. It's like a labor of love. We have an amazing team. We are very blessed, and we're all on the same mission. And actually, as much as it's so tiring, it's a lot of hard work, sleepless nights. It gets stressful as we get closer to the summit, but it's the best part of the year for the entire team. We get so excited about it. And when we finish the summit, we're on a high for 2 weeks. Like, you can't even peel us off the roof. Like, we're on a high. People's
feedbacks, I think, will come.
Yeah, the feedback, the energy, the buzz, like everything's on fire. It's just a great atmosphere. So the team works really, 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 really hard. They work hard and they do everything. And we do sleepless nights, like the last week before the summit, hardly any sleep, and everyone on their day working, greeting, welcoming, and available to help, which is great.
Throughout the years, I'm sure you had like some nice moments or some standout moments, let's say in the summits. For sure, you have some events that stuck with you.
Yeah.
What is a memorable event that actually pops up to your head now?
Memorable. Everything is amazing. Like, if I was to pick memorable moments, for me, it's memorable, and what makes me proud is seeing my students making it to the speaking platform, like yourself. I feel so proud of you. I have other students I've mentored as well, made it to speaker level. That's something you can't beat. It makes my heart full and makes me feel so proud. Another memorable moment last year at the MEFIT Summit last year in 2024, for the first time ever in the history of the fitness industry, under one roof, we managed to get both the healthcare sector and the fitness industry together under one roof on one panel, discussing ways to collaborate and work together, things to integrate the system with each other. And that was very powerful. For me, that was huge. Now we need to make sure that we continue doing that. We need more support. We need more people driving this mission.
Now, this is a subject I wanted to talk about later on, but some PTs think they are physical therapists, think they are doctors even. Yeah. They start doing things that is out of their scope.
Yeah.
How do you think that can be prevented?
Yeah.
Of course, we have the educational part, but how do you think we can always manage that there's proper communication between different channels? So we have the doctor, the physio, the PTs, and not cross that thin line that's in between.
I always say it's actually careless and irresponsible. Fitness professionals are not supposed to do that. And then we have a huge section on the course where we spend talking about scope of work and what you're supposed to and not supposed to do. And you're not even supposed to massage your client. And you see them on the gym floor on top of the client, massaging them and doing crazy things. This is important. Few things need to happen. We need to have quality assurance inside the clubs. Clubs need to be a little bit more responsible and need to really care about the scope of work. We need to regulate the industry a little bit more.
When you say a little bit more, how do you
mean? It's regulated. Like for us, we're already ahead of everybody else. So for example, we have Reps UAE. Reps UAE, so it's a governing body where you check if someone's qualifications are up to the standard, if someone's competent. However, it's not regulated at a government level yet. And that's something not many people talk about. There's support from the government, definitely support from Dubai Sports Council, for example, but it's not a government, it's not a decree that you have to, a legal requirement, and this needs to happen. And this is not something in the UAE. It's like largely unregulated all around the world. So we need to make sure that we regulate the industry and we have maybe inspections. That's something very important. In Saudi, I know they're doing that already. They're doing inspections and have fines. That's something that needs to happen. And then also we need to do things the nice way. We need to collaborate with the healthcare industry. We need to get fitness professionals and doctors together in the same room. Fitness professionals can tell the doctors about the safety of the exercise, the benefit of the exercise, and doctors can tell the patient, the personal trainers, how to treat their patients with care and respect. What are the things they cannot do? Maybe look for signs of concern where they can refer the clients to the doctor. There should be a lot more collaboration between the two sectors. And that's something that needs to happen immediately. We really need to work on that.
True. And especially you have some doctors who would tell their clients, don't exercise. It's bad for you. Let's say go for a swim whenever they have an injury. Whereas if you handle it with the right trainer or the right strength and conditioning coach, no, it's like resistance training or exercising will actually help the injury, not worsen it.
Like where you said go swim, at least they said go swim. Some of them, they say do not move at all. Now, obviously, in some cases, you should not be moving.
No, for sure.
Right, of course, we have to follow. But some of them, they just make exercise as like, oh, exercise causes injury, stop moving. But we have highly educated fitness professionals. Some of them are specialized. You have corrective exercise specialists, S&C coaches like yourself, trustworthy professionals. There should be like a referral system where both doctors and fitness professionals work together and closely. They should be on the same team. And the problem is like, who's boss now? Who's in charge? That's the problem. And then who suffers?
The client.
The client. And it's not just with injuries, with many other things. It's sad. Like now, the state of health is the worst it's ever been in the history of humanity. There's a lot of suffering. There's a lot of illness. Our world is a disastrous place to live in. It's actually so sad. It makes me really upset talking about it. We really need to do something about it, and we need to prevent all this. And physical activity and proper nutrition can prevent so many issues, so many things we're facing right now, and yet it's not prescribed.
Unfortunately. Like doctors would prescribe.
Yet.
Yeah.
We need to work on it.
Of course. Like doctors prescribe pills, whereas exercising slightly more or fixing something in your nutrition can actually give you a bit more benefit because it's something that you can actually sustain.
Exactly.
And can have a proper benefit to you.
And they say also like food is medicine, but also you could dig your own grave with a knife and fork as well. So education is really important, educating the public. And, with medicine as well, like they shove medication in our face, we're over-medicated, surgeries. But then you've got this whole movement of functional medicine, they're dogging the conventional, traditional medicine. And they talk about functional medicine going into the root cause of illness. But then some people took it to the extreme, and you've got this whole wellness community, especially online and on social media, where they dog the traditional conventional medicine, and they start pushing supplements on people. Like now it's become like a really expensive allopathy in the end. It's not really wellness. And people are like just consuming too many supplements, but they're not doing the most basic important thing, which is exercise. Yeah. Not one supplement, not one pill is going to replace exercising and eating healthy.
And in some cases, even exercising the wrong way actually can cause a bit of harm.
Yeah.
Like you always talk about movement, like movement efficiency. Like how our approach is mainly, there are different phases of our training program where you incorporate movement,
Exactly.
resistance training to build strength or whatever. Do you think this is something lots of trainers lack? Because how bodybuilding is still until now mainly what trainers train.
Yeah.
But not a lot focus on the actual movement.
Yeah. Johnny, there are some amazing personal trainers. Like some amazing, and they do such a great job. But it's a handful, like literally handful. There are a lot of even fitness courses, they teach you, it's resistance training and you just lift weights. They don't teach you the phases of progression. How, like, they talk like, progressive overload. They throw this term like right, left, and center, and they actually don't understand, even educators, they don't even understand what progressive overload means. Yeah, that you expect a personal trainer to understand. And, you go into a gym, you see a personal trainer just got a brand new client, first-time exerciser, maybe overweight, obese, feel crap about themselves, they can barely move. And the goal is weight loss. Oh, okay, so you need to be in calorie deficit. You need to burn lots of calories. Oh, let's do high intensity. You see them doing box jumps and burpees and all the crazy stuff. What happened to all the steps that you need to take?
Yep.
They skip steps and push people too hard. They push their own personal agenda on their clients, their own method of training. Like, you're an athlete, but you can't train all your clients like that unless they're athletes as well. Like they skip. What about the anatomical preparation at the beginning? Prepare the body's tissue, their ligaments and their soft tissue and their tendons. Teach them how to move well first. Teach them how to move well. There are clients who don't even know how to move, like basic movement, like squat, hinge, push, pull, and all the. They don't even know how to do that. And then you're asking them to do a combination of everything and add plyometrics and intensity to it. It's crazy. Sometimes you think it's irresponsible madness, but also it's ignorance,
Sure.
Lack of education. They just think they've got the certificate and that's it. And I don't know what they learned on that course, but then they just also become lazy on top of that, leaning on machines, standing 10 meters away from the clients, using their phones.
Yeah.
No program, no preparation. This needs to be really nipped in the bud immediately.
No, I definitely agree. Now, since we spoke about progressive overload, usually people link it to adding more weight.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, progressive overload can literally be applied to every single thing, whether it's mobility, flexibility.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna say if you have someone overweight to even go through plyos, but you have lots of things that you can do and actually progress in a minimalistic way. And it has nothing to do with the intensity or the weight.
100%, yeah. You know what's the most important thing that trainers miss? They don't know how to meet their clients where they're at. They don't know how to give the client the right dose of exercise that's going to challenge them without breaking them. So you got to give the client what they want. That's their goal. Otherwise, if you don't, they just go and train with somebody else, and you take the risk if they're not good enough, they could injure them. But you want to make sure that you do it based on their abilities. And that's why assessments are important. I keep saying assessment. You can't just guess. And they need to make sure that you start where the client is, what's their ability, and slowly, progressively challenge them, whatever the modality is, whatever is the concept that you're trying, whether it's mobility, flexibility, strength, even cardio. Just go on a treadmill and go for a walk. Cardio, you need to be able to design a proper cardio program for your client based on the goal, but and also based on the cardiovascular fitness. So there's a cardiovascular assessment that we do. Oh no, you just use 220 minus age and do some percentages. And that's why on our course, we do not do that. Of course, we've got Apple Watches and we've got all the tech and wearables, but you should know which method to do to assess someone's fitness level without having to rely on wearables. And of course, wearables are amazing there for support and guidance and, accessibility and making it easy.
No, I definitely agree. And I think, like you said, lots of trainers skip steps. And this is what usually leads to injuries. So, and this is what you guys actually provide, because you actually take your trainers through literally every single assessment. You make them try it, understand it, so that they can actually apply it.
Yeah, and actually we assess them on every single step. They earn the next level. We don't allow them to progress unless they prove competency at this level first. Which is important.
Amazing. So, what's next for MEFITPRO? Like, what's the target? You guys have been here for a while. I think you guys also are opening a door in Saudi. I don't know if it's already done.
Yeah.
So what's next for MEFITPRO?
Look, for us, scaling, we've done the scaling. We know, our strategy and what we're really good at. we don't want to be jacks of all trades. We are known as one-stop shop for fitness, and we provide fitness solutions. So we've got different pillars to our business. We've got our gym design, fit out, and equipment distribution. So from A to Z, anything to do with setting up, designing, equipping gyms and home gyms as well. And also we wanted to reach out to the consumers, to the general consumers. So we have our kua.ae, which is another one-stop shop for consumers. You can go on there, order your equipment for your house, or your belt or strap for your weightlifting, or your Pilates socks for your Pilates class and your outfit. But also you could get your protein and your plant-based clean protein and your creatine and all other supplements. So that's another solution. And of course, we've got the education at the heart of everything we do. And we've got the Fitness Summit. And we also have recruitment, where we support the fitness industry, because recruitment is a huge issue.
Sure.
If you ask any CEO of any of those gym chains around in the region, or any operator, tell them, what's your biggest challenge? They will tell you talent. Help me find the right people who are going to deliver the right service.
Trust me, when I get CVs to hire for champs, if I show you those CVs, out of 40 or 50 CVs, you can actually have 1 or 2 competent trainers. And it's crazy.
I was talking to a fitness manager last week, and we were running a High Rocks training, and he was saying to me that he interviewed opening a new branch, and he interviewed over 40, 50 in one weekend. He had like interviews. He couldn't select 2. And then they say like, oh, why are you paying this much only? And then he said, well, that's why. So it's kind of like a chicken and egg.
Yeah.
So we need to really make sure that we have good quality trainers, but also we need to make sure that the fitness industry operators also look after those and keep them.
Amazing. In my opinion, being one of the leading female figures in the fitness industry in our region, what's an advice you would give for other female trainers who are starting their journey and who are finding it hard to let's say, improve their business in the fitness industry or grow? Because it's quite competitive and it's hard.
Very. I have to say, though, nowadays, it's a lot easier for a female trainer. A lot easier than back in my days. I started with a very male-dominated industry. And as a female, trying to be a leader, like, you're a girl. Not even a lady or woman. Like, the girl, It's kind of like that. Now, with the whole, all women power and empowerment and all this, which is great. But what I say to the ladies, to female trainers, is to make sure that first, education comes first. They need to make sure that they educate themselves. They need to make sure that they stay curious, they keep learning. Very important, they need to be empathetic, because the fitness industry has always been perceived as a hardcore, go hard or go home industry, and we need to show a little bit more empathy. Most of the clients you pick up these days, unless you're specialized and you have certain specific, like for example, for you train athletes, most of the clients a personal trainer picks up, what's their goal mainly? What do you think their goal is?
Tone, lose some fat.
Exactly. Something related to their aesthetics, their looks. They're overweight. And when they come to you, they come with so much baggage. They feel shame. They feel guilt, self-negative talk. They need support. All they need is empathy. They just need someone to give them a little bit of hope while staying honest and keeping it real. And that's a skill. I would say to them, really invest in understanding exercise psychology when it comes to education.
Okay.
Really understand, it's beyond program. You are here dealing with a soul, with a human being. That's very important. And last but not least, you got to stay consistent. This applies to any business, not
Sure.
just personal training. Consistency is the backbone of success. If you want to be successful, you got to stay consistent. And that's why we stood the test of time.
Yeah. 20 years.
Being consistent.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
What do you think is something most of them lack nowadays? I feel a lot of trainers fear they are entitled, or like they feel like like they have that upper edge. There's no humility anymore. People are not as humble
Yeah.
as others. So what do you think is something lacking nowadays for trainers?
You just said it. There's no humility. They need more humility. What humbled me is education and learning how amazing the human body and how complex it is. And it made me realize there's so much we don't know. And then, how do you know if someone is highly educated? How do you actually know if someone is really highly educated? If they're humble and they understand that they don't know it all. And they understand that the more you know, the more you realize that you don't know. And that's how you can keep growing and bring your A game. And, speaking of humility, a very good tool that will help someone really grow without having to go and study if they don't want to study is just be humble enough, drop your ego and ask for feedback. I mean, how hard is it for you to ask feedback, ask your client, what is it that you like about training with me? So you can do more of it. What is it that you enjoy? What is it that you actually don't like? What are the things that you're expecting from me and I'm not offering you? How can I be a better trainer? And even like ask them to rate you from 1 to 10. Where do you rate me? And always challenge them to tell you what does it take to get a better rating. That's very important.
I couldn't agree more. Usually, when you teach your students, you have different batches coming in and out. You have 40, 50 students
so
coming
many
in.
Nationalities, backgrounds, yes.
So you impacted a lot. What is it like? What's the goal and what do you want those trainers to carry coming out of every course they take with you?
First, we want to make sure when they're doing the training with us, when they're doing on the course, when they're doing the workshop with us, because there's an element of it where they have to do self-study first online and then they come to the workshop. So if we want them to provide their clients an experience, so when the client comes to train with the trainer, it's not just another training session, it's an experience. So for them to provide an experience, we need to walk the talk. So we make sure that we provide an experience. So our workshops are always an experience. It's not a workshop.
I remember.
It's something memorable. And every time I bump into a student, like yesterday, we were at the High Rocks race, right? I couldn't even take 2 steps without stopping to say hello to a student. It was like I bumped into a lot of students. And all of them say, I will never, ever forget my days at MEFITPRO. It was the most memorable learning experience. Just last course, I had actually, it was a Lebanese guy. And he was pushed to come on the course, has a bit of ADHD, couldn't focus. And at the end of the course, he said, I hated school. I didn't want to go to university. This is the first time in my life I sit and focus all day, nonstop, 10 hours, without feeling distracted or bored or frustrated. This is an amazing learning experience. And that's very important for us. When they are engaged in the experience, and we do it in many ways, we do real life scenarios. Play is huge. We add a lot of fun. We use play. When you're having fun, you learn better. And we have a very strong community. Like they come in, they're total strangers. They don't know each other. By the end of the course, they don't want to leave. They're like one big family. So that togetherness, they feel like they have a good support system. That's very, very important. And we always leave them with one message. Never, ever stop learning. I always say, if you stop growing, you're slowly dying. You need to make sure that you keep learning. Whether you come back to us or not, make sure you keep learning. And I always say, life is about reps. It's all about reps, repetitions.
Agreed.
Whatever you consistently repeat makes up who you are. And be careful what you repeat, because repetition makes you say perfect. And I always say, no, repetition makes permanent. So what you repeat will stick with you permanently. So make sure that you repeat the right philosophies that we teach you, do the right things repeatedly, and you got to stay consistent. When I say consistent, you got to show up on good days or bad days and repeat those amazing things.
Now, looking back at your whole journey, until where you're at now. Is there anything you would have done differently?
Would have done differently? No. I think everything that's happened along the journey happened for a reason and really molded me to who I am right now. Of course, I made mistakes. I've
It's part
learned
of the
from
process.
them. Some really amazing highs, some lowest lows, some hard times. You know, for me and Greg, we built our business with blood, sweat, and tears. It's not been easy. And it's solely our business, just me and him with our amazing team, of course, not alone. If I had to say I would do something differently, maybe, like if I was to say my younger self something to, you know, to do differently, probably I would say trust yourself a lot earlier. Because I entered the fitness industry a lot younger than others. So all my mates, my teammates and my colleagues were older than me. And just because of our business, the nature of the path we took, I had to take leadership roles where I'm younger than others and I'm a female in a male-dominated industry. So I always kind of like doubted myself. Luckily, though, I didn't just let go of opportunities because of Greg. Greg has always been my rock. He believed in me when I didn't. He would always say, you gotta take this. And I was like, oh, I'm not sure, you know, and I've always find excuses. The kids, the family, you know, I don't have time, you know, my training, because for me, I have to walk the talk too. I take my training seriously. So I always had like reasons to kind of like procrastinate or hesitate. And he always pushed me. I was like, if you don't do it, who else is going to do it? And if somebody else takes this opportunity, it's not going to be as good. And he always says that if it's not you, then who? So I would say to myself, or to any younger girl or young woman coming, you know, following the same path, I would say trust yourself. When we're young, sometimes we lack confidence. Sometimes you may not have the Greg that I had to support you and push you and give you the confidence. You gotta have to rely on yourself. And you really gotta be your own backbone and really be confident. And you gotta be proud that you're a woman and you have what it takes to make it, and you should.
Love that.
Thank you.
I've seen you also, your kids are pretty much into sports.
Yes,
You
they're both
guys are into
athletes,
sports. Even
yeah.
Greg still plays basketball
It's
until now. I
crazy.
had no idea at first.
Still running around, yeah.
Do you think this is something we commonly see? Like you guys have actually an athletic family,
We
full
are,
on,
yeah.
which is rarely the case in most families.
Yeah.
So what do you think lacks usually?
Oh, you know, sometimes it's cultural, sometimes, you know, just life. You know, parents have other priorities. Life is not easy these days. To make a living and be able to support your kids and educate them, you have to work your ass off. It's not easy, you know. But then, you know, sometimes people put barriers for themselves. They say, I don't have time, you know, but then, you know, they have enough time to scroll on social media and go out and socialize and drink and do other things. And in my opinion, as a parent, whether you're mom or dad, it is your duty, it's your responsibility to take care of your own health. You do it for your kids. Even if you hate it, you go through the, you know, maybe you hate your job, but you still do it because you have to feed them and pay for their education. You hate exercise, you still got to do it. You do it for your kids. You got to be a role model for them. And most of the time, in most of the families, when parents are healthy, when they exercise and they eat healthy, you see the kids follow the same things.
Definitely, 100%.
They have the same ethics. When parents play sport, kids play sport. My kids, they play sport and they're multi-sport too. And they both picked up touch rugby just because they wanted to play with dad.
Yeah.
So that's amazing for the entire family. And not to mention that sport builds kids' confidence. And they are our future. They're the next generation. If you look at our future now, I'm really concerned. Johnny, there are some people like, I don't know, because I worked in healthcare and I've seen what it's like. There are some people that are already dead. They've just not been buried yet. And it's sad. Imagine looking at your dad and you know the health issues that he's going to face in the future. And he's going to be a burden. That's not fair for your kids, to be a burden on your kids. So parents really need to start taking care of themselves. No excuses. It sounds harsh, but when it comes to things like that, it's white or black.
I definitely don't think it's harsh. I think it's a must, because if you want to enjoy your time with your family, I'm talking, let's say, personally, longevity is key. The more you exercise, the more you're going to be able to spend like proper quality time with your parents, with your kids.
Definitely.
So I can definitely relate to that.
100%. You know, and longevity is another word. You know, everybody, it's like there are so many trends in the fitness industry. I don't know if we have time to talk about them, but longevity is one of them. Actually, at the MEFIT Summit, when we have the business summit as a first day, we have alongside the business summit, we have longevity and biohacking summit. And then next 2 days are the fitness and wellness summit. But we use the word longevity, but I personally don't like it. It's a word that's thrown around like everybody's using it. Okay, it's a hot word right now, but we need to look at health span instead. We don't want to make our life longer, just extend the number of years to our life. Who wants to live the last 20 years of their life in a clinic or in a hospital, even in bed, not being able to move and having to, need the help of others and being burdened on their family? So we need to make sure that we think long term. A lot of people don't understand what they do right now in very small ways will actually determine what's going to happen to them later. It's not that one pizza, it's not that one naira, it's not that one glass of wine. You got to live your life, of course. But it's the things that happen cumulatively over time. It's those habits that people start to build on top of each other and they stack. And then one day, boom, they get the diagnosis and it's too late.
Amazing. But I can't add anything on top of it because this is literally what should be done.
This is the hard truth, yeah. And we need a lot more work, a lot more support, a lot more collaboration, and a lot more recognition. The fitness industry needs to be recognized a lot more because we could truly impact the entire planet. We really need to be utilized.
Your passion is honestly out of this world. It was such an amazing insights. Honestly, I'm more than happy to have also another episode because there's so much technicality that we can dive deep into.
There's so much we can dive into, even from the technical side of things and science and training. And I love this. I could sit and talk to you for hours.
So then definitely we're going to have an episode
100%.
Too. Thank you, Rania.
Thank you, Johnny.
It was a pleasure having you. And honestly, it was lovely.
Thank you so much and keep doing amazing work. And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.